It's a sad day for Ontario. You know, the Progressive Conservative Party is no longer with us. It's been taken over by the Tea Party. Just 1 year ago, Mr. Hudak himself, through a private member's bill, put forward an initiative which I thought, frankly, was pretty progressive. He was talking about giving employers 10% wage subsidy if they would take in new Canadians and provide them with some opportunity for training. And today, he's done another 180, and they're practicing a different kind of politics, which is the politics of anger, envy, resentment, and division. And this is a good opportunity for Ontarians to begin to consider who we are and who we want to be and where we want to go. I want us to move forward together. I want us to recognize that we have a collective challenge. We've got accountants, we've got lawyers, we've got engineers driving cabs. What I want to do is I want to do what Mr. Hudak originally wanted to do. I wanted to give those people an opportunity for 1 year of training in the workplace so they can complete their certification, leave that workplace experience, and go find a full-time job. That's in everybody's interest, that those people work at their highest level of training. It's as simple as that. So I think what really this gives us an opportunity to consider here is the value set that Mr. Hudak has now adopted. It's the politics of anger, resentment, and division. I don't think that's in keeping with who we are as Ontarians. The fact of the matter is, we're in this together. It's in everybody's interest that our students do well, all our students. It's in everybody's interest that we look after all our seniors. It's in everybody's interest that new Canadians who keep showing up here, and we welcome them with open arms, because apart from a few of us, we're all new Canadians. It's in everybody's interest that we find a way to invest a little bit in their future, allow them to get workplace training so they get their certification and work at their highest skill level as an architect, an engineer, or an accountant instead of driving a cab. To me, that's what we're all about.
But Premier, the McGuinty family would know better than most how much it costs to send a kid through law school in Ontario. Why should their kids have to compete against a tax credit when their families have invested so much in their education here in Ontario?
I think you've got to take the question to Mr. Hudak, and you've got to ask him, what happened to the principles and the values that originally informed his private member's bill, where he's going to give a wage subsidy of 10% to employers to help provide training to new Canadians? That was just a year ago. What happened? Why is it that he's allowed himself to be overrun by the Tea Party? I think that's a huge mistake. I think that is regressive. It's not in keeping with what we expect from the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party. It's out of sync with our values. I think there's an opportunity here, and the opportunity is to be found in Ontarians to compare our value sets. You want the politics of anger, resentment, and division? That makes you feel good? Then Mr. Hudak is your guy. If you want to do things so that we can grow stronger together, build something better together, then that's what we're putting on the table.
But Premier, if Hudak's private members bill was such a good idea, why didn't you guys support it a year ago when you could have brought it into law?
We've got our own initiative. All right, we're pursuing our own initiative. We've done all kinds of things, and I could rhyme off a long list of what we've done to improve opportunities for new Canadians. But now we need to take the next step together. And I think that's an important measure. It recognizes that we've got a challenge. It's a real challenge. We've been told about it by everybody from banks to economists to everybody to tell us we're losing billions of dollars because we're not doing everything we need to do in order to ensure that new Canadians have the job training opportunities to obtain their certification and move forward at their highest level of skills in a permanent job. They're going to have to find their own permanent job. I'm talking about a job training experience. And again, I really appreciate the window that this gives us onto the thinking that's going on in what we used to know as the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario. It's no longer that. It's been taken over by the Tea Party. And that's a direction, that's a value set, which I think Ontarians are going to say, we're not comfortable with that. That's not who we are. Don't foist that stuff on us. We've always been our best when we found ways to work together.
But Premier,
Last question?
your promise is only for like 1,000 or 1,200 people. I mean, you're making it sound like it's a universal thing. It's a very small promise.
I think it's important to put it in perspective as well. All right? It's an important first step. Let's see how this works. Let's see how effective this is. That's been, by nature, the way we've kind of rolled these things out, to see how they work and to see how much uptake they are. I mean, this depends entirely on the goodwill and the willingness of the private sector, the employers. Let's see how it works. But let's begin by recognizing that we've got both a challenge and an opportunity. Let's get these men and women out of the cabs, and let's get them working at their highest levels.
Is it going to be a
Last
particularly
question.
nasty campaign, do you think? I mean, it's people are digging in. The Tea Party we saw brought to American politics some pretty divisive and nasty stuff. Are we headed for a pretty divisive campaign?
Well, I'm hoping that we're heading for a healthy collision of ideas and value sets so that people get some pretty clear choices placed before them. And I think that, we've called our platform, Forward Together. And I just think that that speaks to who we are. I believe it speaks to who Ontarians are and where we want to go. Whether you're talking about the kinds of changes we made in our schools and our health care or the way we're working together to strengthen the economy, that's about bringing everybody along together.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.